What's up guys, it's Kelly and today I've got another swatch review for you. So today I am partnering up with Cirque Colors to show you guys their brand new Glazed collection. And before we get into what that collection is, let me give you a little bit of background information on the brand. They are vegan, meaning they do not use any animal derived ingredients. They are cruelty free, meaning they do not test their products on animals. And they're also 10 free, meaning they are free of 10 of the potentially harmful ingredients that are often found in nail polish. So I'm really excited about today's collection. We've got 6 brand new polishes, 5 of which are jellies, and I feel like I've been talking a lot about jellies lately. If you don't know what it is, I actually have a whole video on what jellies are and how you can identify them, but the gist of it is jellies are intentionally sheer nail polishes that are buildable and they have a super high glossy shine, so it's very similar to Jello or jelly. So we've got 5 of those. I'm going to be showing you guys 1 coat, 2 coats, and 3 coats of each of the polishes so you can see how they build up to that coverage. And then we also have 1 speckled topper, which is the most exciting in my opinion, which is actually kind of crazy to say because I love jelly nail polishes, but that just shows you how exciting this topper is. So I'm going to show you guys that topper, and then I did a little experimenting too, so I'll show you that as well. But before I spoil anything, let me just show you the swatches, so roll the footage. So as always with my swatch and review videos, I am going to be using base coat underneath all of my swatches just to protect my natural nail and prevent any stains. Today it's the Cirque base coat, so I'll link it below. So we'll start off with the first shade in the collection, which is called Dove Jelly, and this one is a really beautiful sheer taupe jelly shade. As you can see on the first coat, it is a very light wash of color, but it's really self-leveling, so it doesn't look lumpy at all. You can definitely get away with doing 1 coat, 2 coats, or even 3 coats on this one because it is such a smooth shade. I absolutely love this color. I love that almost like purpley undertone that we have going on here. There's just something very nice about having a sheer neutral polish that isn't the usual sheer nude shade. I just love the coolness of this color. It definitely feels very perfect for fall, but it also just feels like a really great any time of year neutral, something that you can definitely wear as a palette cleanser, something that's good for a work appropriate event or in the office. It's just a really pretty overall shade. Next up we have the shade Cocoa Jelly, and this one's actually really interesting. In the bottle it looks like more of a dusty brown shade, but on my nail this one actually ended up looking a lot more warm with an almost reddish undertone. Now to be honest, I think that's because I am very warm undertoned. You can see that my skin even looks almost a little bit yellow in my swatches because I am very warm. So I think this is a color that will really look different depending on your skin's undertones. Personally, I like this warm color. I think it suits me really well. In the first coat, there was a tiny bit of streakiness with the color. You definitely want to make sure that you're doing a nice even layer, especially with darker jellies, because you want it to be smooth across the nail and you don't want it to look patchy or anything. In the second and third coat, I was able to cover that up. You still get a nice little bit of that visible nail line, very high shine, so it still definitely feels very jelly-like, but it's also very fall-ish. Next up we have the shade Marsala Jelly, and this one is a really beautiful dusty pink jelly color, and this one's a little bit lighter, but again we just have a really nice amount of even coverage here, so no matter how many coats you're doing, it really does suit the nail. You just want to make sure that you're doing a nice even layer across the whole nail, whether you want to do that super subtle light wash of color or if you want to build it up to full coverage. Now personally, I feel like all of these, I actually really love them in 2 coats. If I wanted to wear them in a jelly-like finish, I would probably stick to doing 2 coats, but like I said, you can really build these up. I think a lot of them, especially these deeper colors, in that 3rd coat, you pretty much cover up that visible nail line. So you can see here in the 3rd coat, you can really barely see it. It's only in some very bright lightings that it might show up a little bit, but other than that, it just looks like a very glossy, full coverage color. Next up, we have the shade Olive Jelly, which as you could guess from the name, is an olive jelly. And oh my gosh, I was so excited when I saw this one, and even more excited when I started applying it. I already know, without having shown you guys this one, that this is gonna be the one that people either love or hate, and let me tell you, I absolutely love it. This is like the definition of that ugly, pretty chartreuse green color. You can see that very yellowy undertone going on here, and oh my gosh, I just think this is such a fun color. I love wearing really unique, almost like weird shades on my nails, and Cirque always nails this kind of color. I think they do a great job with it. So like I said, I would love this one in 2 2 coats, but it gets even more full coverage and a little bit more green in that 3rd coat, and it really covers a lot of that visible nail line. If you have a longer visible nail line, you'll probably get a lot more of that greenish look instead of that like warmer undertone of your skin. The final jelly color is this shade Navy Jelly, which is a really beautiful, slightly dusty, deep blue jelly. And again, it's just a really pretty shade. This one definitely is a little bit of a deeper color, but it still ended up giving me pretty nice even coverage throughout. Personally, I love this one in 2 coats. Like I've been saying, I just really enjoy jellies with 2 coats. I think it's the right amount of coverage that you can still see the visible nail line, but it's still sheer enough that you can see through it a little bit and get that jelly-like effect. But I thought it ended up being really full coverage on that 3rd coat, and again, it just kind of felt like a full coverage polish with that very high, almost squishy shine going on there. So definitely a nice overall color. Again, we have just a really nice fall vibe in all of these shades. And finally, we have the shade I am the most excited about. This is a topper called Spotted, and as you can see, it is just packed with matte black flecks running throughout. So here it is just over Dove Jelly, and you can see it just has a really nice mix of unique shapes in there. It's very shard-like, so there's definitely a lot going on, and it makes the nails look very speckled and fun. Of course, I couldn't resist doing a layered manicure with this. I mean, it's just the perfect polish to go with a collection like this. I absolutely love these sort of spotted crelly polishes, so I wanted to try that out. So here I am layering 1 coat over the shade Dove Jelly, and you can see honestly, just that on its own is gorgeous, but covering it up with that Dove Jelly, again, you can really see a lot more dimension going on. It reminds me of like a bird's egg. It's just a really fun way to wear it. And then topping it off once more with an extra coat of Spotted so that you get a lot of dimension where some of the spots are on the top of the manicure and some are kind of fading behind. It's just really fun and dimensional. I'm definitely going to be wearing this one a lot, and I'm definitely going to play around with it a lot and do some experimenting. So here are all of the shades together, and I absolutely love this collection. Aside from Spotted being just the most fun topper ever, I think we have a really nice mix of jelly colors here that are very unique to my collection. I have a lot of jellies. I love wearing them in the summer, but they tend to be such bright, summery shades, and I feel like here we have such a nice collection of very fall-inspired colors, and I feel like I'm finally going to be able to wear fun jellies in the fall, which I never get to do, so I'm really excited about that. So those are the polishes, and I have to say I am totally in love with them. I know that jellies are really a hit or miss thing. Some people do not love the visible nail line look. Personally, I am a huge fan, and I feel like beyond just wearing jellies on their own, there's a lot that you can do with them in terms of just layering and mixing and matching colors. So I feel like there's a lot of fun to be had with them, and I just really appreciate this color palette as well. Almost all of the jellies that I own are very much summery colors, so having a nice fall palette really makes it easy to bring that trend into the colder seasons. So all of these polishes are in 11 milliliter bottles, and they retail for $12.50 USD on the Cirque website, so I will link that down below. These are going to be part of their permanent line, so they're not limited edition. But speaking of limited edition, we actually have 2 other nail polishes that I want to give you a quick overview of. Every so often, Cirque Colors does their Do Good polish, which is a charity polish, and all of the proceeds go to different organizations. You guys may remember a little while back I reviewed a polish they created called Black Magic, and it was a really beautiful black jelly nail polish that had these really gorgeous rainbow iridescent flakes running throughout, and 100% of the net proceeds of that polish went to the NAACP Legal Defense Fund. So I know this polish was a huge hit. It sold out super quickly, and they actually brought it back. Once again, all of the proceeds are going to the Legal Defense Fund, so I will link that one down below as well. And we also have a brand new Do Good polish, which is called Splash, and this one's another really beautiful jelly that has iridescent flakes running throughout. This one is a light blue jelly base, and it's got all of these beautiful cool toned iridescent flakies, and once again 100% of the net proceeds are going to an organization. In this case, they are benefiting the Coral Restoration Foundation, which is actually the biggest reef restoration organization in the world. So I absolutely love when Cirque does these these limited edition do good polishes. It's a really awesome way to help donate to an organization while also getting really cool nail polish. Once again, these polishes are limited edition. They usually sell out very fast. They're both $14 USD and 100% of the net proceeds go to their specific organizations. So I'll link both of those down below. You can check them out if you're interested, but I highly recommend them. I think they're a lot of fun. And like I said, I just like having a cool nail polish and a donation under my belt, so that's really fun too. So yeah, that is my review for all of these brand new polishes, and I want to know, what are your thoughts? Are you a jelly fan? Do you feel like jellies are good for the fall? Because I feel like these are definitely giving me strong fall vibes and I'm here for it. And also, what do you think of this speckled topper? How do you plan on using it? Let me know in the comments. We can chat all about it. If you enjoy my swatch and review videos, please give this one a thumbs up. It lets me know I'm doing a good job. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing. I put out new videos every Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday. I am also returning with my Friday morning nail art live streams. I used to do them on Amazon, but I'm going to start doing them on Twitch every Friday starting next week. So I will link that down below as well if you're interested in hanging out for a little bit of nail art and fun. Huge shout out to my Cosmic Admirals on Patreon, Amanda M, Bryston Scott, Kristen, and Rocket Man's daughter. I really appreciate your support, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. Today's fun fact question comes from a Patreon supporter whose name appears to be Diane Eason, which you would think is how you pronounce it, but it actually apparently is pronounced Scarlett Johansson. And Scarlett Johansson wants to know, last year you showed us your collection of 76 eyeshadow palettes. How many more palettes would you guess you've acquired since then, and which one is your all-time fave? That is a great question, and actually, funny enough, on my vlog channel I started doing a little bit of a makeup declutter, but I didn't get to my eyeshadow palettes yet because I wanted to do a whole separate video on those. I do have a lot of eyeshadow palettes. I have a huge problem. I love color stories. I'm sure you've noticed a lot with my reviewing nail polishes that I tend to like a collection more if the color story is inspiring to me. And I'm the exact same way with eyeshadows. I have way more eyeshadow than I think a person ever needs, but I am a huge fan of doing colorful eye makeup looks. And I feel like it can be so difficult when you have 5 palettes and you want to use one color from each palette. So I always try to buy palettes that have a color story that I want to use all together. So that's how I justify buying a lot of eyeshadow palettes. But I did slow down significantly. I probably still have less than 100 eyeshadow palettes, which I know sounds like a crazy amount, but I've really been forcing myself to not buy new ones. I do occasionally get new eyeshadow palettes in PR, not very often, but when I do, I've been trying to not use the new ones until I use up some of the older ones and kind of hit pan on them, you know, like go through to the bottom of the color. So I like to say I've been very good about that. Maybe I've added 10 to 15 since that video, which was definitely a while ago, but I know I am absolutely due for a declutter. I should probably go through and get rid of the old ones. There are probably some that are very expired by now, and I probably shouldn't be putting those on my eyes. And maybe time to look through some of the ones that I haven't opened and see if there's something that I can donate, because I really do have a lot. And funny enough, like I told you guys in a previous fun fact, I feel like I've just been in such a rut with makeup lately that I'm kind of just doing the same thing in different colors every time I do my makeup. Maybe doing a declutter will kind of force me to look at the palettes that I have and maybe get inspired and do something a little bit different with my makeup, because I don't know, I feel like I've been a little bit bored of it lately. But if you do want to follow along my eyeshadow palette journey, you can check out my vlog channel. I'll also put a little link up in the cards. But yeah, that is it for today's video, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!